Welcome to Lovin The Loveboat, a fond and funny look back on the world's greatest cruise ship-based television show. I'm Istvan, singer, songwriter, and TV fanatic.
And I'm Michelle, pop culture enthusiast.
Join us as we relive episodes of one of the most watched TV series of all time.
Occasionally deviating to pop culture charts unknown.
So come aboard, we're expecting you for another edition of
Lovin The Loveboat.
Hello,
Hi.
Michelle.
Yeah,
I want to thank you
you're welcome.
for fixing me. Ladies and gentlemen out there, I hope that you saw the post of how to prepare your own vodka gimlet. The wonderful Michelle made me one, and then I spruced it up. And I put a little sparkling soda in there, and then a little bit of, usually we'll have some kind of juice on hand, and there's some sort of like strawberry something type juice that I put into. And when you do that, you can feel like a real mixologist, like you went to 4 years of bartender school, because it does that thing where like it's like one color on the bottom and one color on the top, and you feel
Fancy.
like, oh my gosh, it's the greatest of all time. So I hope you guys have a vodka drink in hand. Welcome back, you guys. We are on episode 33. Michelle?
It's crazy.
Yes. What did you think of this episode?
It was good. It was it was good.
I thought it was crazy, personally.
Yeah.
In many, many ways. And guys, before we get into the show, we also have a returning guest. We are very, very happy. If you recall, from the beginning of season 2, when we were all marooned, we have the wonderful Stacy on the show again today with a bit of her commentary on this episode. We couldn't be happier. So thank you, Stacy. Let's get into it, shall we?
Sure.
Okay, let's start, as I always do, with our storylines. Today we have Till Death Do Us Part, written by Ben Jolson and Art Bear. We also have Locked Away, written by Howard Albrecht and Saul Weinstein. And finally, we have the fantastically titled Chubbs, written by Lorraine, is it Desprez? Dupre? I don't know. It's Despres.
I don't know. I'm shocked that was even written by a woman.
Michelle, may I offer you a peanut?
Just one. It's got to last me 3 days.
All right, spoiler alert. We don't want to get into that. All right, Michelle, could you do like you always do? Could you lead us through our stars on this episode?
First, we have Melissa Sue Anderson playing the Jennifer Chubb Smith. You know her from Little House on the Prairie, mostly. She was Mary Ingalls. She went blind at some point, too.
My cousin Danielle was way into Little House on the Prairie. I was not, but I think, remember that.
She's playing Gopher's younger sister. Then we have, you know him, you love him, Mr. Drummond, Conrad Bain.
What you talking about, Mr. D?
He plays, it just says Les. Then we have Jamie Lee Curtis, the great Jamie Lee Curtis, who's really having a year this year.
Yes, it's nice to see Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, and I like her very much. And she plays Linda. And then following up with that is her actual mother, Janet Leigh.
Oh, see, I don't know anything.
You didn't know that's her mother?
I need to take, like, TV fanatic
right,
off.
that's like a given. Like, she was married to Tony Curtis, and that's how they had her.
Tony Curtis, another Hungarian.
Oh. That's not surprising.
Hey,
that
hang
he's
on.
Hungarian. But that's her actual mom, so they actually played mother and daughter.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, totally cool. Then I have Greg Morris as Greg Elkins.
I love Greg Morris.
I do too. Like, he was everywhere when we were kids. Yeah, Greg Morris was like, he was in all the TV shows when we were kids.
I don't remember. I don't think I watched the show that he was on.
Mission Impossible? Did you ever watch that?
No.
Oh, he was on that a lot.
He's just super recognizable, super solid guy. I like him.
Then we have Jimmy J.J. Walker,
Oh, man, yes.
The Return.
I did watch Good Times
Yeah.
regularly.
He plays, they have it titled The Late Mickey Garner.
Yeah.
And then we have the return of Vernee Watson
Yes.
as Elaine Garner. Then we have Peter Caulfield as Wayne.
Oh, good one, because I didn't get that name.
He was basically just a 70s TV actor. And then we have the couple the kind of like buffer couple during Vernee Watson.
Oh, man, you got their
stuff.
names?
Yeah, B.B. Drake
Awesome.
and Raymond Allen.
Oh, very good. They were great.
And then, bonus,
This I got.
the great Denny Terrio. You may know him and love him from Dance Fever.
I do. I love Dance Fever.
And I don't want to jump ahead, but I'll jump ahead.
What?
His dance number.
Oh, my God. It was so... I love that kind of dancing. That crazy disco dancing is so great. Oh, my gosh. It was awesome. So who do we see first on the cruise, Michelle?
Vernee comes on the cruise.
Oh, that's right. The widow.
Having a conversation with only she can see.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing, you guys. It's like JJ is a ghost.
her dead husband.
Yeah, and he keeps popping up and talking to her. And he basically, I guess, like his task, almost like a Clarence, from It's a Wonderful Life.
Exactly.
You have a task in the afterlife, and his is to help her find a new guy.
Yes.
So then he can move on to the next level. So he's there kind of coaching her, pushing her to mix and mingle.
Hello, welcome aboard, Mr. Ellen Garner. Mrs. Garner. Oh, Mrs. Garner, we're about to sail. I hope Mr. Garner isn't late.
That's me, the late Mr. Garner.
I'm a widow. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're sorry? Our first barbecue after our honeymoon, I told her to pour lighting fluid on the cold slow, not cold slaw. I'll never forget my last words.
Oh, here you are, Mrs. Garner. Of course, excuse me. You're on the Aloha deck, cabin 350. Thank you. Uh-huh. What are you doing here?
Trying to find you a new husband. I told you this ghost can't rest in peace until you're married again.
I don't want to get married again.
Hey, look here. You got a whole life to live, and it's going to be with another man.
You're the only man that I've ever wanted.
I swear I never saw the lady before.
The trouble you're causing.
Me? Only one that can hear or see me is you.
I'll always love you, but please leave me alone.
Hey, I would help you with that luggage there, but you know the ghost union. We don't do bags.
Why don't we just dig into the Chubbs storyline?
Dig in.
The crew is just waiting patiently, I guess.
No, they ain't. They ain't patient. The captain is impatient because Gopher's nowhere to be found.
Oh, that's right. And Chubbs is coming. They know her as Chubbs because last time they saw her, she was a young girl. A young, chubby girl.
And Gopher's blow-drying that hairdo of his because he wants to look good for his little sis when she gets on board.
Or as Doc, as the captain says, she's the little girl with the big appetite.
Miss McCoy, I don't understand. What are Dr. Bricker and Isaac doing boarding passengers?
Oh, well, sir.
Where's Gopher? Blow-drying his hair. What?
You see, sir, Gopher's sister's coming on board for her birthday, and he wants to look terrific.
And that could take years.
His sister, huh? Haven't I met her before? Little,
Chubbs, you remember, kind of chunky.
Yes. She was about 5 feet tall, all over. You better order 2 birthday cakes.
But, to everyone's surprise, Chubbs is no longer Chubbs.
She's a beautiful young woman.
18-year-old college student. No longer fat.
Yeah. And she makes a beeline for Doc because she's got a thing for Doc for some reason.
I guess because he's always helped her out when she was little or something.
You know what? Don't ask me.
The whole thing is crazy, like the fat jokes and everything.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to need to ask Doc.
Doc!
Well, welcome aboard, whoever you are.
Jennifer, don't you remember? You taught me to tango.
Of course, Jennifer, the old tango. I remember it well, sort of.
Doc!
Jennifer.
Chubbs! Chubbs! Hey, listen, you remember Doc and Isaac?
Hi.
Oh, and this is Julie, our cruise director.
Hi!
This is my kid sister, Chubbs.
Jennifer.
Hey, come on, we'll show you the cabin. Come on.
See you later, Valentino. Chubbs, huh?
Well, maybe I need new lenses.
Maybe.
Michelle, why is Jamie Lee Curtis so mad?
Not sure.
Yeah, they never really established that, why she's so unhappy in her marriage. How long could she have been married? Not very long, right?
No, not very long. And I also thought it was weird that when they arrive on the ship, her mom shows up, but then her dad shows up to send them off. But I can see your mom doing that.
Yeah. Shout out to my mom. Well, hang on, because they had a whole plan. They had this unhappy couple had a whole plan for how they were going to handle this cruise.
This whole cruise is a mistake. If we don't get along on land, what makes you think we're going to get along at sea?
Hey, come on, give it a chance, Linda. I mean, we haven't even unpacked yet.
Hello there.
Gail!
Oh, hi. Hi, sweetheart.
What are you doing here? We didn't expect you to see us off.
Oh, well, any chance I get to see my baby? Oh. And speaking of babies, any news in the blessed event department? Something I should be knitting?
Well, maybe a pair of socks for Linda. She's always got cold feet.
Very funny.
Oh, look, Gail, there is a reason we didn't invite you down here to see us off.
What reason could you possibly have for not inviting a mother?
A father. Sorry to be late.
Daddy, hi.
Oh, Les. What a pleasant surprise. What are you doing here?
I was invited. What are you doing here?
I crashed.
Mama, Wayne and I thought that the fairest thing would be to have Daddy see us off and you welcome us home.
Oh, well, honey, you don't have to try to keep us apart. The nice judge took care of that.
Let's hear it for the judge. We should be able to get along for 5 minutes. After all, we were married for 20 years.
20 years? Was it 20? Went by just like 40.
Mother.
Hey, look, what do you say we break open the bubbly, huh?
Yes.
All ashore that's going ashore. All ashore that's going.
So first off, it's weird that the parents are even showing up because we find out it's only like a 3-day cruise.
Yeah, it's a
It's
short
not
one.
even one of their like 6-day cruises.
Right, this is a brief one.
So to have your parents send you off is weird and welcome you back. But then once again, incredibly easy to get on a cruise ship and wander around. Again, had I known all this was possible, I would have been on 1,000 cruises in the 70s and 80s.
Well, maybe when Evie's on a cruise, you can just show up out of nowhere.
I'm sure you can't do that anymore.
You're gonna bring it back. I feel like you've got that kind of desire to bring this type of behavior back. The comical, like, oh, I just was super interested in your new suites.
Oh, look, they're redecorating this area. I wonder what the new suites look like.
Last call for all visitors. All ashore that's
What are you
going
doing?
ashore.
Look, the ship is about to sail.
I just want to take a look at one of the cabins.
Who cares?
You just described our entire marriage. Who cares?
Hey, don't go in there. Hey, come on, we gotta get out of here. Now are you happy? It's beautifully decorated, an early French penal colony. Come on, I got a date. And she's a lot more interesting than some of the guests turned on by empty rooms.
Really? And does she get turned on by the little things you do?
What little thing?
Do we have to get personal?
No, just have to get out. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, well, you haven't lost your... Help! There are 2 people locked up in here!
2 people who can't stand each other!
Let me tell you something, guys. Now, again, this is like in olden days, so let's pretend still this would actually happen. I just want to give you a tip, pro tip. If you get stuck in a room with a person you hate, or with a person you like for that matter, if the hinges are on the inside, you can get out, okay?
That's exactly what I thought of, like the hinges are on the inside.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of like work stuff around there. There had to have been like a screwdriver or a hammer or anything, some sort of blunt instrument. You got to pop those hinges up, just wail on that thing. And then the hardest part would probably be like prying the door kind of from the opposite side and you're out, you know? But if you did want to stay in there to kind of rekindle your relationship, then don't do that. But no need to panic. There's a way out. Now, Ghost JJ, he's working hard.
He is.
And this is a tough thing. You know, I mean, this guy's already dealt up this terrible blow of dying at a very, very young age from some poisoned coleslaw. And he's trying to encourage his wife into meeting someone else. I mean, it's fairly valiant.
It is.
Dealing with all of that, the afterlife, and then having to like be the wingman for your wife to find someone else. But initially, he's fairly gung-ho about all this.
Hi there, sweetheart.
Mickey, couldn't you just fade in? Well, you scared the wits out of me.
Hey, look here. I'm only a freshman ghost. They don't teach fading in until you're a sophomore. Anyway, you know the cat we met in the passageway? Well, he's a lawyer, very successful, and mucho available.
You're wasting your time.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, I said that I'm having a wonderful time.
Good. Good. And what happened to that spring bikini I brought you? Hey, you wear that low-cut halter and you'll definitely get Greg to the altar.
Once and for all, Mickey, I don't want to see this Greg or anyone else.
Hey, how am I going to get you a husband if you don't cooperate?
Don't want to talk about it.
Well, then when are we going to talk about it?
Later in my cabin.
What?
He'll be late all right, and he's gonna have a broken leg.
Opposite of that couple.
Are you talking some Jamie Lee Curtis
I'm
right
back
now?
to her, yes. Is this where they're like, in the beginning, they're reading a book? She's reading a book?
I think she was. They were just all at the pool at this point. They're all hanging out at the pool, and she's just like never having a good time.
No. There's something up with their marriage. I think it's just went stale very quickly.
I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. The guy seemed like a pretty affable guy. I liked him. He was trying to have a good time. And it's just like he was in the pool and kind of having fun. And then she just was not down with anything. She just was kind of a sourpuss.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that cooled me off. Don't you know, with a little coaxing, I could get heated up again.
Come on, Wayne.
Hey, what's with you anyway?
Every time you get the urge to be Mr. Romance. Am I supposed to drop everything and rush off with you? Why don't you think about how I feel sometime?
Starting up again.
Oh, why don't we just give up and get a divorce?
Why don't we just talk things out, huh?
And what's the use? We always end up fighting.
So what's wrong with fighting? Maybe your parents wouldn't be divorced if they fought more.
More? You've got to be kidding.
Their storyline is kind of just almost nothing in this, really, compared to her parents' storyline.
Yeah, it was weak. It was kind of weak. And I guess really ultimately, I mean, you know, no big spoiler. It's just like it's a reflection kind of
her parents.
Yeah. But like, again, her thing is just like they never really established why she's so unhappy. Janet Leigh's hair is really special, I thought.
It's very stylish.
It's super like perfect, you know what I mean? And it's like...
and it's perfect all 3 days.
But I also like Conrad Bain's hair, where it looked like a drawing of waves on top of his head when he was getting unkempt, struggling to get the door open.
That like whole thing was unsettling as it unraveled. But,
Mr. Drummond's hair was so weird.
What you talking about, Dad?
But honest to God, they're trapped in this room, and then they're getting hungry right away. So they're rationing a tiny bag of peanuts.
Yeah, she had like airline peanuts in her bag.
Eating one peanut is not going to... I would have just taken a chair and busted out a porthole or something if I had to be stuck in a room with you with no food for 3 days.
We'd both murder each other.
Then they would find us because we would be screaming and murdering each other.
Right. Oh, my God. Well, these two also really start to get on each other's nerves right away, and you start to see why the marriage didn't last.
Just my luck to be locked in with a woman that hates my guts.
Les, it was never hate.
That's right. Hate is a little strong. It was more mutual disappointment.
Maybe dissatisfaction, discontent,
Indignation. Exasperation.
anger,
Rage.
loathing,
Hate!
Yeah, it was hate!
Now, this episode, in my opinion, you guys, is kind of crazy, and I was not thrilled with it, quite honestly. It felt like, I think like they really put all their effort into the last episode that was just like a tour de force.
True.
And they were kind of lazy on this one because Gopher's psyched that his little sister's coming on board, but he's afraid that Denny Terrio is going to try and, you know, make a move on her, and he is. And so who do you ask to look out for your little sister? Who do you think is the best chaperone for a young lady?
Doc.
That's
But
ridiculous.
In reality,
Yeah.
he's probably, she's 18. He's probably in his 40s, right?
Yeah.
So you would think he would know enough to keep his hands off of her.
I don't know. I just, it's like, to me, that's the last guy that you ask to look out for the virtue of a young woman is Doc. I mean, like, it's crazy.
In reality, you would ask Julie.
Yeah, exactly. But Gopher, maybe he was sniffing the paint fumes that were being used in the new suites, and he goes off and asks Doc.
Yeah.
Doc! Oh, Doc. I'm in trouble.
Me too. Do you think Stubing would mind if I didn't wear a tie to the captain's table?
Come on. Light better over here. It's my sister, Doc. Ship's wolves are hitting on her.
Aren't you being a bit overprotective? She's not exactly a toddler.
Doc, please. I mean, can't you just keep an eye on her, you know, take her under your wing? You know what these cruise ship Casanovas are like. Wait a minute. I'm talking to the wrong guy.
Gopher, I'm your best friend. Jennifer's your sister. You don't think that I mean,
No,
really?
I'm overreacting.
Okay. I'll keep an eye on her. Those wolves won't get within howling distance.
Oh, thanks, Doc. If there's ever anything I can do for you.
Great. Can you get me a date with Jennifer? Just kidding.
Okay.
Great, thanks.
Even though Janet Leigh and Conrad Bain are not eating, everybody else is eating. I was trying to. Did you look at any of that weird food at the beginning when they always come in that like shot in through the food?
No, I didn't see the
I
food.
couldn't make out what it was. I didn't understand what it was, but it looked strange to me.
I normally see that stuff. It like always catches my eye, but it did not this time for some
It
reason.
was unappealing.
No, I didn't
weird.
see it.
But J.J. Walker is there, of course, and Vernee Watson's trying to sit down and have dinner, and then Greg comes.
Yeah.
And somehow he takes a ghost takes a pen, and changes the table number from 11 to 7 to make it 17 so that they're both at the same table.
Evening. I'm Greg Elkins.
Ellen Garner.
Uh-oh. I think I'm at the wrong...
No, please. Please sit down.
Are you sure? You haven't been too thrilled about meeting me up to now.
Honestly, it has nothing to do with you. It's just that I've had a lot of things on my mind lately.
Well, if you need a sympathetic ear, I've had a lot of practice. I'm an attorney.
An attorney? Well, fish is hook fine. Now all you have to do is reel in the line.
You know, my husband would have made a great attorney.
Oh?
I would have?
He certainly had the mouth for it.
You know, like, Michelle, dancing is a significant part of this episode.
Not just dancing, disco dancing.
Disco dancing, but it's not limited to disco dancing. And I think our guest, Stacy, was enamored with some of the dancing that was taking place on this episode.
Hello, this is Lovin The Loveboat fan Stacy, back for another round of comments regarding the latest episode. Let's take these in order from my least favorite to my favorite parts of the episode. First up is Chubbs. Not a fan of the title or the fat jokes in the beginning, but I suppose that was definitely a sign of the times. But it was totally worth it for the image of the captain tangoing up a storm, and then the scene with the sweet speech from Doc. Just lovely.
Yeah, it was almost comical tangoing there, like over-exaggerated, the captain and her.
That's one of the best things, too, because that's something we would do as kids all the time, too. Like that sort of dancing because you were doing that motion.
Mm-hmm.
That was huge when we were little kids, honestly. Like it was something that we would do to goof around, make fun of things. So that was fantastic.
Is that when Denny Terrio comes around
again?
Oh,
my God, yes,
Busted.
it is. It was incredible. Denny Terrio cuts in. And he starts doing, I don't even know what those moves are called.
They're like John Travolta, Saturday Night Fever. Dance Fever must have been on during this time, right? Or just starting?
I don't know.
Or maybe
probably
not.
Just
I mean, he's a
started.
choreographer by nature, or by trade, so he needed a minute to shine.
Michelle knows everything about Denny Terrio's career.
I loved that show when I was a kid.
So
watched
did
it all
I.
the time.
So did I. It
Every
was
week.
great. And Saturday Night Fever was at the height of its popularity, which it was like that was taking over the world. This was just an awesome surprise on this episode. But then, like, Doc has to cut in to save the day because Gopher's freaking out that, like, Denny Terrio is putting his moves on her.
Yeah.
And they go out to the deck. And then Chubbs ain't Chubbs no more.
Nope.
And she makes some hard move on Doc.
Well, how was your first year in college? Kind of rough?
Look at that moon.
What are you majoring in?
The stars. They're so close you could grab one in your hand. You know, Doc, you're a very attractive man.
Would you believe I started out as a math major, then in my sophomore year?
Doc, when are you going to stop treating me like a kid?
Oh, careful. Careful.
I'm crazy about you.
Chubbs! I found her! She's here! She's with me by the rail.
You promised me the last dance.
Oh, right. I'll see you later, Doc.
It is weird, but then I don't know exactly when this came in, but if you recall, then later on that night, maybe Doc goes to Julie's room to discuss what's happening.
Yeah.
Did you understand why she was having her laundry? I couldn't catch what she said, why she was drying her laundry in her
Well, I think
room.
just something broke. Like the dryer, they have one dryer.
That's what I mean, one dryer for an entire ship to do towels and everything.
Yeah. So it's on the
Who
fritz.
thought of that?
I don't know. It was a weird thing. It was a weird choice to have that happening. I don't even know why
And
they
then
had
she's
that
like, I
happening.
could borrow clothes from Jennifer. But anyway, the one thing I thought, and I think this was discussed, is then like where Julie basically is describing herself when she's describing Chubbs.
Oh, being like...
He might be a father figure. And I'm like, Julie, you fall for every older guy that comes on that ship.
Yeah, but that's why she understood it, I
guess so.
It's insane. It was so insane. Like, she empathized with Chubbs falling for an older guy. She knew exactly what that was all about. But yeah, he goes to, Gopher goes to Doc to do something that was weird. And then Doc goes to Julie for advice, even though she's younger. And it's like, you think he'd know enough what to do. I don't know. It's very, very confusing.
It is.
Come in.
Can I talk to you? I never knew you were so sloppy.
Clothes dryer broke down, then what am I going to wear?
It's about Gopher's sister.
Jennifer, terrific idea. We're about the same size. Doc, would you hold this? Now, where can I put this thing so it won't fall down?
There. Now, can I talk to you?
Doc, that's perfect. Thank you. I love you.
Great. Now, that's two of you.
What?
Jennifer is hitting on me.
You're kidding.
See, Gopher asked me to take care of her, and she really wants me to take care of her.
Don't make such a big deal out of it. She's just got a regular teenage crush on an older man. She probably thinks of you as a father.
Thank you very much. She happens to think of me as a lover. What am I going to do?
Well, you be kind, be nice, and let her down easy. Either that, or Gopher will kill you.
During all this time, too, we kind of neglected after the setup at the dinner table, but Vernee Watson and Greg are really, really getting it on.
Hitting it on?
I don't know what I'm saying. It's the drinks.
Oh, my
are really
Hang on.
hitting it off is what I meant to say. And I'm not sure JJ's kind of getting a little jealous as Ghost is, but they're dancing the night away, having a great time.
Yeah, Vernee is starting to like warm to the idea because she had no interest in finding a new person. And she was saying that she just loved JJ and that this was not her intention being on this cruise at all. But, with JJ's encouragement, now she is actually starting to enjoy herself.
Where do you get all that energy?
Teaching 30 kindergarten kids. I've got to stay in shape.
Well, as an attorney, I can say that the prima facie evidence does support that theory.
Why, thank you, counselor.
Woo-wee. She's on her case now.
This is the first time I've been on a vacation alone. Usually I go with 4 or 5 buddies of mine and we go fishing.
Do you miss them?
Oh, yeah. I would much rather be with a bunch of unshaven, beer-guzzling, smelly guys than be here with you.
Oh, boy. Look what we got here. Combination F. Lee Bell and Richard Pryor.
Listen, I'm getting kind of hungry. How about some lunch?
That's a good idea.
The verdict's in. She's going to give him a life sentence.
Jamie Lee Curtis is just mad. She's mad because she's the sister of Michael Myers, so she's very, very upset. She's got that hanging over her head. We've forgotten about that. How do you move on with your life when you've got that, kind of like shadow following you everywhere you go? And the husband is trying so hard to make things happen, and she just is having none of it.
Hey, listen, I've been thinking. Maybe things would be a little different between us if we had a baby.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, I'd be stuck doing the diapers.
Oh.
And then there's carpools and playgrounds. Before you know it, I'm an over-the-hill housewife, and you'll leave me.
Well, that's the way it happened in your family. It doesn't have to happen that way in ours.
You mind? I'd like to finish reading this book.
Yeah, well, that may not be the only thing you're finishing.
But you know who's having all of it?
Who?
Her parents. Well, except for food and peanuts.
Right.
They're
You got 3 a day.
3 a day.
For a little protein to keep you going. Why? What do you mean? They're not what? They have it? They have what?
They're having aren't they? She's reading a romance novel. A fiery romance novel.
I don't know. I think like Stacy might know a bit about this. This is a confusing part to me.
Now on to Locked Away. The book nerd in me was quite amused at the reading material of the daughter and then the mother. Linda reading away and looking quite enthralled with executive trash, and then the mother shown shortly thereafter reading what I believe was called Lord Derek's Wench, from one trashy novel to another. Pardon the pun. That part of the episode also made me question whether there was a working toilet in that room. Then again, after only eating 12 peanuts over a couple of days, maybe they didn't need one. They were remarkably chipper for people who hadn't eaten. That would most definitely not have been me.
She pulls that romance novel out of her purse.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She just happens to have it with her. They're recollecting how she used to read him passages from the romance novel, and he used to like it.
This part freaked me out, though, because, and this is why it's good, they do these misdirects on you, and that's what blew me away about the show, because you think, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen, and then it doesn't happen. Because I thought that this is where they show that they're starting to like each other.
Uh-huh.
But something very unexpected, at least to me, happens.
What you talking about, Dad?
Were you expecting this next part?
No.
Did you like seeing Mr. Drummond in this kind of a state of mind?
No. It's very upsetting, all of it.
Yeah, Mr. Drummond's passions turned him into a bit of a monster.
Are you still carrying those trashy paperbacks around with you wherever you go? Lord Derek's wench?
I have seen Lord Derek's wench through 16 affairs, 5 marriages, 3 floggings, and 1 branding.
Really? What happens in chapter 2? It's garbage, Gail.
But you didn't seem to think so when we were married. Don't you remember we'd curl up on the couch and I'd read to you? Lord Derek whispered in the fair Sabrina's ear, maddening her with desire. Your eyes are those of a maddened tigress. Your lips the color of a ripe pomegranate.
Your skin is creamy white, like the jungle orchid.
Wait a minute, that's not here.
No, it's there, and there.
Stop it!
I can't. You're gorgeous.
I was never gorgeous. Terribly attractive, but never gorgeous. Oh, will you stop it?
Oh, you haven't changed one bit.
There it is. The same old hurt look.
Why shouldn't it be the same old look? It's the same old nothing.
Well, maybe I wasn't the sizzling sex pot every time you came home. But it's hard to be the fair Sabrina after a day of diapers and dishes and...
Or tell it to Lord Derek.
I've learned from this episode that always share your peanut, guys, because that's what's going to win your wife back after you try to molest her in a locked room.
Ugh.
Yeah, because shortly after that, these two, like, somehow, this was a very, like, abrupt change. You know, I was kind of, like, stunned by this because it seemed like they had reconciled in some weird way after his bad behavior.
I guess they just started reminiscing and talking about, she got out of her system why she was upset in the marriage. And
oh, yeah, because she said he was asking her, like, was it so bad?
You know, I've been thinking about what you said last night. Was it really so terrible being a wife and a mother?
Before I knew it, 15 years of my life just went by.
Kids need taking care of.
Oh, I didn't mind taking care of the kids. But half the time I found myself being your mother. It was always what you needed or what the kids needed. It was never what I needed.
But it wasn't all bad.
Oh, no. There were good times.
There were, weren't there?
Mm-hmm.
How was that summer we took the place on the beach? We went clamming.
What I wouldn't give for one of those clams now.
Oh, here. Take my last peanut.
I couldn't.
No, it's okay. I'm on a diet. Here, please, split it with me.
It's too bad we couldn't be this unselfish with each other all the time.
Maybe we can.
Michelle,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I liked about Gopher's sister?
What?
You know, she's a beautiful young woman now, and she's strutting around her cabin in a bikini. But what are those shoes that she has on? She has like those shoes that are like, they're real tall, and they're like heels, but they're solid at the bottom. Is that a wedge?
Yeah, that is a wedge. That would be a classic 1970s wedge.
I love those shoes.
Mhm.
Like, I really like those shoes. I think those shoes are still cool. You think they'll come back? Have they come back?
They're back. I mean, you can find them if you wanted them.
Because like, there's a lot of fashions that I see our child donning, and it seems like a lot of stuff has made a serious comeback.
And there's nothing more comfortable than wearing a wedge heel to a pool.
Is it uncomfortable? Are you joking?
No, they're comfortable, but wouldn't you wear like sandals or a flip-flop?
Not if you're trying to attract
That's true.
a
She's trying to-
40-year-old man who happens to be the doctor on the ship. So she is wearing this wedge, and she's prancing about the room, and then Doc shows up, I think, like, I don't know why he was getting her, but she just completely makes move number 2 on him, and Gopher stumbles upon this, and it is not a pretty exchange.
Honey, go. Door's unlocked. Doc.
Oh, you're not dressed. I'll wait outside.
Doc, don't be silly. I'm glad you came. I'm sorry we were interrupted last night.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that.
Hey, I thought I couldn't take you to...
Look, it's not what you think.
And what is it?
You don't understand.
How would you like to understand a knuckle sandwich? Jennifer, go into the bathroom and don't come out till you're decent.
I am decent.
But you're not.
Look, I don't suppose there's any chance in explaining.
Explain? Get out of here. Thought you were my friend, Doc.
Like I said, no chance in explaining.
I don't appreciate how he told her to get in the bathroom and change.
He was being very like awfully paternal, and yeah, like bossing her around, like he was like he owned her or something like that. And it was really a good scene though, because he really was like mad, but they were still kind of playing it off funny for the show. And I thought they kind of handled it kind of great, because that's a tough one to deal with.
Right, but then he wouldn't take Doc's explanation, and Doc just gave up so quickly.
Did you see how he put his head down?
He did.
It was like when he proposed
really
to Loretta
sad.
Swit, like a little boy. He went out like a little boy. I didn't like to see Doc like that at all. It was strange.
Broken man.
It really was sad.
Now on to my favorite, which was Till Death Do Us Part, maybe. Such a soft spot for this storyline. From his unexpected entrance at the beginning, Jimmy Walker is quite charming, is what I believe he referred to at some point as being a freshman ghost. So he had so many great one-liners throughout the episode. And then, of course, the couple that kept walking by during the most inopportune moments just cracked me up. And then, of course, I also teared up a little bit at the end whenever he realized that his plan had actually worked. So I just found this episode to be sweet, charming, fun, and thanks for having me. Bye.
I also did enjoy like his joking around and his jokes throughout this part of the cruise. But then, as Vernee gets closer to Greg, the jokes stop.
Yeah, you can understand that though.
Mhm.
It would be really hard. I mean, he had such a good attitude, and I know, again, it's like he's the comedic foil of the whole thing. And again, utilizing JJ and the way that he should be used, unlike Soupy Sales from the previous episode.
It's true.
But, if you were watching, the woman that you love, then really actually, I mean, maybe in the back of your mind you think, oh, she'll never find someone other than me or whatever.
Mhm.
And then you really do see that happening. It would have that impact on you. And he does not like what's happening.
Are you cold?
Well, I'm real warm on the inside, but I might chilly on the outside. I left my shawl in the lounge.
I'll get it.
I'll get it. I will get it. Smooth talking shyster.
Mickey, I thought you liked him.
I like the cover, but I just started reading the book.
Well, I think he's kind of terrific.
Well, that's just great. That's just great. I mean, how do you think I feel seeing the woman that I love fall for the first rinky-dink dude that comes along?
But Mickey...
No. You should see yourself dancing, swimming, smooching. Is that any way to mourn your dear departed husband?
You were the one who wanted me to be happy.
Happy, but not flipped out.
I'm confused.
Sure you are. Why else would you be falling for some jive time dude only 2 years after my last supper?
Mickey, I'm sorry.
Hey, look. You need more time. Believe me, there'll be other dudes to choose from. I just want to save you from making a monstrous mistake.
I got it. But it'll cost you a kiss.
Greg, I think I'll just turn in.
What's the matter?
Well, you're very nice, Greg, and I like you, but...
But what?
But that's all.
Well, I thought we had something special going. But I guess I thought wrong.
Greg.
So she kind of shuts it down with Greg after that conversation.
You know, I'm going to give Vernee a compliment, but I'm also then going to question who wrote the one with these guys? Ben Jolson and Art Bear. She did a great job. Because she immediately was then, you know, she was kind of giving herself to this new situation, but then she immediately like felt terrible about it, and she was foregoing her own happiness because of that. But the thing is, she could have just said, I feel bad about my husband. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 'cause I don't think she ever told him
right.
what her backstory was, and that she was a widow and she was having a hard time getting over her husband's death. And
I think if she just would have said that, he would have understood completely.
Oh, he's a great guy.
Yeah, and he would not have been upset at all. So that was a little frustrating to me, that part of this episode, that she just didn't come out and share that with him.
Right,
you
she
know?
just shut him down.
Yeah, and that was a little kind of frustrating. You know what else is frustrating, Michelle?
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis's constant aggravation on this cruise. I do not understand why she's not having a good time. Even if you could just sit and watch Denny Terrio dance from a distance, that's enough to make me happy. I'd be glad.
Right. Maybe she should have danced the night away with him.
Denny would have been fine with that. It looked like he was looking for anybody.
Exactly. Just need to show off his moves.
Right. But the husband's trying and trying. And then finally, you know, I don't blame the guy. He just gets completely sick of the whole darn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's just like...
Well, we proved it can be done. We're actually having a pleasure cruise without any pleasure.
It's not this cruise, it's our marriage.
Are you talking about divorce again?
Look, it took Mom and Dad 20 years before they got divorced. It's gonna happen to us. I'd rather it happen now.
All right. If that's what you want, you got it.
You know who's not wanting to be divorced anymore? Her parents.
Oh, my God.
Because it cuts to that, like, scene. They did it on a dirty floor in a cabin.
Yeah, she got like one peanut stuck to her back, and it's like...
More than a peanut.
And that
then,
napkin...
Oh, and she's like laying there on the floor, like with the sheet over her. And then I think which was more disturbing.
Like the painting tarp is on top of her.
Yeah. More disturbing is Conrad Bain buttoning up his shirt. Well, first he slides over to the door, and you could see that he can get it unlocked because he was going to leave.
Yeah.
But then she wakes up maybe and then calls him over, and then he starts to unbutton his shirt again.
You know what? Thanks a lot for that visual.
It was not a good
You know what?
visual.
I'm going to clear the palette because the thing that I focused on was Conrad Bain's fake hobo stubble that he had on.
I know. You know, it's funny you say that. Towards the end, I was like, wow, he grew stubble really quick, like really dark
like
stubble.
The makeup that every kid, when I was a kid, the costume they chose for Halloween was a stupid hobo. And I just want to share another terrible childhood memory. Mom, if you're listening, please turn this off. One Halloween, there was a costume competition, and I dressed up as a chicken. And some mom made some elaborate chicken costume that was amazing. And I literally had yellow nylons on and big chicken feet. And then my aunt, she dressed up my brother flawlessly like Colonel Sanders. and then I had my foot through a chicken bucket, and he had a leash around my neck, and we didn't win.
What you talking about, Willis? Did a hobo win?
Yes!
Hobos were very popular at Halloween.
Oh, it's such an uncreative costume. And sexual Conrad Hobo Bain.
All you needed was a stick and a red bandana and some stubble, and you were a hobo.
It's in a bindle and a flannel shirt, and then you win the first prize. I'm walking around in nylons like a chicken.
That sounds pretty genius, and you guys probably should have won.
Oh, life isn't fair. At least we have the comfort of knowing Conrad Bain was about to have his second sexual encounter with his ex-wife on a weird floor with a paint tarp over the
Not eating for 3 days.
Oh, we got to get out of this room. All right.
Well, as I stated, they both, in the end, they both knew you can get out of the room.
Yeah, they did.
But decided to stay in that dirty, gross room to rekindle their marriage.
Well, Michelle, speaking of sexual advances, there is a major one taking place on this ship. And young Chubbs is good to go. She says, oh my God, there's just this period of time. You know what I'm about to talk about?
Oh, her with Doc in the cabin?
Yeah, it was creeping me out.
It's like, was she kind of like insinuating she wanted to like lose her virginity to
Yeah,
him?
yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's like things, oh my gosh.
It's almost like an after-school special back in the 70s moment there. Melissa Sue Anderson, or Jennifer, she basically wants to be with Doc because she wants to learn to be with somebody.
What's wrong with me? I'm not pretty enough. Is that it?
You're very beautiful.
I'm not sophisticated enough.
Jennifer, you're 18 and you're Gopher's sister.
Gopher. What's he got to do with it? He still thinks I'm a kid. Oh. Yeah, now I get it. That's what you think, too.
No, I think you're a very desirable woman.
Then why don't you want me? I want to learn. I want to learn from someone with a lot of experience. You'd be a terrific teacher.
I'm very flattered, but it's not terrific to find someone experienced. It's terrific to find someone right, someone you care about. Jennifer, your first love is a very precious thing. Don't throw it away.
Doc, I was so scared.
A love shouldn't be scary. And when it really is love, it won't be.
Thank you, Doc. You really are a terrific teacher.
I think Doc handled that really well.
Oh, yeah, and his speech was right on.
Yeah, it was like kind of the perfect thing, and what she needed to hear. A more lascivious guy would have taken advantage of that situation. I'm sure Denny Terrio.
Oh, yeah, gosh.
would have been all over.
Gold chains.
Yeah. So Doc did do a really, really great thing and proved to be truly Gopher's best friend.
Absolutely.
Oh, because Michelle, all the while, these guys are like, the captain is impatiently waiting with, and Isaac just wants to devour like this birthday cake that they have for
the chef specially made.
Yeah, for Jennifer's birthday party. They're going to have like a regular birthday party for her, and they're all just waiting. And all of this is taking place during that. Captain's about to leave because he's got to get back to the bridge. And then all of a sudden they show up, and Gopher is upset.
I'm sorry, Gopher. My excuse is to Jennifer, but I've got to get back to the bridge.
Oh, sir, no. 5 more minutes, please. I'll go look for her.
All right.
Please. Oh, everybody just stay. What? Sure, she's coming. What are you doing here?
Gopher, Doc's your best friend.
Yeah, so's Attila the Hun.
Oh, wait a minute.
I don't want to talk to you, Doc.
Then talk to me. Doc wasn't trying to take advantage of me. I was trying to take advantage of him. I was throwing myself at him, but he wouldn't let me.
Nothing happened?
Something did happen, Goph. I learned there's nothing wrong with waiting for the right person.
Well, if I had a sister as beautiful as Jennifer, I guess I'd act the same dumb way.
Dumb? I don't know what to say.
How about starting with happy birthday?
Oh, hey, I almost forgot. Hey, band leader, maestro, come on. Hey, por favor.
But Jennifer came clean.
They handle that kind of funny, too. That's the parts I love, where he's like, I would be dumb, too. Doc said that about Gopher.
Oh, yeah.
That he didn't give him the benefit of the doubt.
And pretty impressive how Isaac was able to light all those candles on that cake so quickly. I don't know if you're paying attention to that.
Didn't see that. Man, you are like dominating with the details this time. I didn't notice.
He was lighting them, and I don't know why I was watching it, but he got it all done.
Because Isaac rules, man. Isaac's the greatest.
That 4 years of bartending school.
Yeah, he could do it all. He's the best.
Quick to light a cake. The ship has docked.
Yeah, because this was a short cruise, like you said. This was like a 3-day cruise.
Correct. You know, Vernee Watson's looking for Greg.
No, she was just glum. She was leaving. She was just leaving the ship.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, she had no intention of, like, she had, like, listened to JJ and just was, like, giving up on him. So she was leaving. And then JJ appears and then realizes what he had done wrong.
You're right. Didn't he push her into him?
He exactly did. He went past the weird modern art strap thing on the side of the wall that looks like a giant great white shark mouth. And then he pushes her into Greg.
That's right.
And they basically hook up.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Elkins, I hope you had a pleasant cruise.
I enjoyed it very much.
Oh, Garner, are you all right?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Got it, girl. You got him now, baby. Don't let go.
Greg, about last night,
Forget it. So we're not meant for each other.
Yes, we are. I didn't mean any of those things I said. Can I plead temporary insanity?
On one condition. You let me represent you. For life.
Got it, girl, honey. And don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Honey? Honey? I guess he must be the right man for her. She can't hear me anymore.
And then the saddest thing ever happens.
I mean, I swear, like, this part, like, weirdly made me so sad because it's like he just disappears, you know, because she's off. Like, not only is she off with a new man to live her life, he's dead. And then he disappears. I don't know where he goes. Where do you go?
Just he goes up to heaven.
Oh my gosh, I hope so but it just was really kind of like heartbreaking.
It was dramatic because he was like, she can't hear me anymore. And I was like, no.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. I really didn't.
Like, that's so sad.
That's ridiculous. I need another drink. And then Hobo Joe pops out of nowhere with his formerly ex-wife, now to be wife again.
Yeah, they surprise the kids as they're exiting the ship and tells them, we have news. We have news.
Oh, Linda, wait. What are you doing?
We never left. Huh? What's going on? Well, it's too much to explain. But here it is in a nutshell.
Oh, the peanut shell. Well, your father and I are getting back together again.
You and Daddy?
Well, I thought you'd be happy.
Oh, I am. It's,
No, it's just that we have some news of our own.
A baby?
Wayne and I are getting a divorce.
You can't.
You did.
Oh, yeah, but that was different. All right. It wasn't different, but listen, we just spent 3 days together with nothing to do but talk. I mean, we cleared up a lot of things.
Maybe if we talked this way 20 years ago, we wouldn't have lost each other.
That's right.
Oh, baby, don't make our mistake.
But you know what? They're not going to make it. I'm telling you this right now. This is the one time a couple does not make it. Jamie Lee Curtis is not going to have this relationship. That's my prediction. I don't know what you feel about those two, but I don't think it's going to last.
No, they didn't really give me a vibe that even though it was encouraging that she wanted to work on it.
I kind of liked it because everybody always has like a happy ending on the show. And it's kind of cool that they ended it like that. Like at least they would try, but I feel like there's no hope for that relationship. Because Denny Terrio struck out. With whom?
Jennifer.
Yeah, because she's the final one to say goodbye. And it really wasn't a big goodbye, was it?
No, I think she just left. But then I liked at the end, too, where he calls her Chubbs one more time, and then the whole crew is like, Jennifer.
Oh, that's right.
Goodbye, Jennifer. I do love you. Like a brother.
It was such a wonderful birthday. Thanks, all of you, for taking such good care of me. And Gopher, don't worry. I can take care of myself from here on in.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye-bye. Hey there, baby.
Am I going to see you in the city?
Afraid not. I don't get to the zoo very often.
I guess she can take care of herself.
That's my Chubbs.
Jennifer!
Yeah, so this episode, it was kind of weird to me.
It's kind of weird, too, where, like, sometimes the stories kind of gel together and you can kind of, everybody meets at, like, a themed party or something. This was pretty disjointed storyline-wise.
Yeah, I agree.
But, you know, it wasn't terrible.
No, it's like, I swear to you, like, I watched these episodes, you guys, 2 times. I put in 2 times on each one of these so I can get the clips for the show. And it's like, I usually like sometimes episodes better, like the second time around. Like, I'll really, really watch it, like, in detail. And there were things about this that I did appreciate more, like, the second time around. But I did still feel it was kind of, like Michelle said, like a disjointed kind of an episode. And especially coming off of the last one, it's so kind of different, you know. That was epic, and this one was kind of quick.
It was only a 3-day cruise.
I have no idea who we have up next. I don't know anything about the next episode.
I haven't looked. I always should look, and I don't look.
All right, so guys, it's a mystery to us. We want to thank, of course, Stacy.
Yes, thank you, Stacy. Great.
Stacy for her commentary.
As always.
Also, if you don't know, you need to go back and listen to when she made her first appearance. Listen to the first of the 2 of season 2, the Marooned episode. And again, Stacy was one of our awesome all-star contributors to our GoFundMe campaign, of which we will have at the end of the year our second telethon. And we hope you all will be a part of that as well. But thank you, Stacy. You're the best. And if you guys are not currently following us on Instagram, be sure to find us at lovin_the_love_boat. Because we really are extending a lot of what we do here on our Instagram page. Mm-hmm. So make sure that you're going there and that you're following us there. And other than that, until the next episode, I am Istvan.
I'm Michelle.
Captain Stubing, please come to the bridge.
And we are
Lovin the Loveboat.
What you talking about, Sam?